two turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah!
Let me ask you a question. What is more fun than opening a gift? Opening it early, and that's just exactly what we're doing here tonight at the Stone Church here in Newmarket, New Hampshire. We are celebrating the holidays early, and for the next hour, you're invited to sit back and enjoy Tom Rush and Tommy Makem and Bill Staines and Lucie Therrien, and perhaps the most important person here tonight is Rick Watson, who's the glue that's holding it all together. He's doing backup for us tonight. You know, if you're a musician, you're on the road a lot. And when the holidays come, well, you like to get home to be with your family and with your friends, which is what we're doing here tonight, of course. And when you're with your friends, if they are musicians, well, sooner or later, the music starts.
The king of all words, St. Stephen's Day was hot in the furs. Although he was little, his honour was great. Jump up, me lads, and give us a trade. As I was going down by the hall, I met Therrien upon the wall. Up me wattle and knocked him down, and brought him into Katy town. Drolling, drolling, where's your nest? Is in the bush that I love best. In the tree, the holly tree, where all the boys do follow me. Up with the kettle and down with the pan, give us a penny to bury the ran. Follow the ran 3 miles or more, 3 miles or more, 3 miles or more. Follow the ran 3 miles or more at 6 o'clock in the morning. Mrs. Casey's a very good woman, a very good woman, a very good woman. Mrs. Casey's a very good woman, she gave us a penny to bury the ran. Penny to bury the ran! People ask me what I associate with Christmas. And my longest, deepest memory of Christmas was always of very, very bright lights, and I suppose there's a precedent for that as well. Way before there was a Christmas, 5,000 years ago, the people who lived in Ireland built a megalithic tomb, which is still standing today in very good order, as I might add. And they had left an opening over the doorway up into this tomb. It's all carved stones. It's in a place called Newgrange, about 20 miles north of Dublin. And during the winter solstice, when the sun arose in the eastern horizon, it would come up and shine through this opening over the doorway into this megalithic tomb and crawl up the pathway and illuminate the back wall, which illuminated really the whole tomb. And they figured when the sun god came and penetrated this tomb, that he renewed the spirits of the people who had died and that they would live once again. He redeemed them from death. 3,000 years later, one of the brightest stars in the heavens guided a bunch of shepherds to a place outside of Bethlehem where the baby Jesus had been born, and we Christians call him the light of the world. As I went a-walking one morning in spring, I met with some travelers in an old country lane. One was an old man, the second a maid, and the third was a young boy who smiled as he said, "We've the wind in the willows and the birds in the sky. We've a bright sun to warm us wherever we lie. We have bread and fishes and a jug of red wine to share on our journey with all of mankind." I asked them to tell me their name and their race, so I could remember their kindness and grace. My name is Joseph, this is Mary, my wife, and this is our young son, our pride and delight. We travel the whole world by land and by sea to tell all the people how they might be free. Like the wind in the willows and the birds in the sky, we've a bright sun to warm us wherever we lie. We have bread and fishes and a jug of red wine to share on our journey with all of mankind. Sadly, I left them in that old country lane, for I knew that I never would see them again. One was an old man, the second a maid, and the third was a young boy who smiled as he said, "We've the wind in the willows and the birds in the sky, we've a bright sun to warm us wherever we lie. We have bread and fishes and a jug of red wine to share on our journey with all of mankind."
You know, what amazes me about the holiday season is all the traditions that there are. There's Christmas trees and Yule logs and wassail and Christmas carols and Christmas cards and the colors red and green. The list is endless. And of course, there are those traditions that are unique to our own families, that special food that we eat on Christmas and the special ornament that we put on the tree. Here's a wonderful story. I know of this family which on Christmas Eve, instead of putting decorations on their trees, that is ornaments, they blow up balloons. And they cover the entire tree with balloons. And then they blow up balloons, they put them all over the furniture and all over the floor and all over the presents. And then, on Christmas morning, the fun begins. But it seems to me that no matter what the traditions are that we celebrate, whether they are from French or Irish or Italian or Christian or Jew or old or young or rich or poor, each holiday tradition that we celebrate reminds us of something in our own unique lives, something wonderful, something that says home.
I always figured that the simple gifts were the best. I remember people would maybe give you a lovely pen at Christmas time, or maybe a good book that you could keep for years and years and years and enjoy it over and over again. But the greatest gift that anyone could have offered me when I was a young fellow growing up was a new song. If somebody came along and gave me a song, I thought that was a wonderful gift to have. And I want to give a gift to you who are looking in, and I wrote a new song for you, wishing you all the best for this season and for every season that comes along with it. It's called Wishes. The winter sun has traveled far as he can go. Years There's last moon and evening star gleam brightly on the snow, and Christmas lights are shining bright from every window pane, and Christmas music fills the night. It's wishing time again. I wish you joy and heart's content and freedom from all strife. A hearthstone where your days are spent with those who light your life. I wish you love that never ends. May all your troubles cease. My fondest wish for you, my friends, a heart and soul at peace. In this, the time of peace on earth, let love come healing you. Seek out someone you may have hurt and ask forgiveness too. The newborn King showed us the way to love, forgive and heal. When loved ones gather round each day, let them know how you feel. I wish you joy and heart's content and freedom from all strife. A hearthstone where your days are spent with those who light your life. I wish you love that never ends. May all your troubles cease. But my fondest wish for you, my friends, a heart and soul at peace. Hosannas rise, and let the glad bells ring, and joyful sounds fill up the skies to greet the newborn King. He came to light the world with love, and all our hopes renew. I ask him from his throne above to grant my wish for you. I wish you joy and heart's content and freedom from all strife. A hearthstone where your days are spent with those who light your life. I wish you love that never ends. May all your troubles cease. But my fondest wish for you, my friends, a heart and soul at peace.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I have had enough time in the hot seat. Tom Rush, would you like to take over? Good man.
Did you really write that song yesterday?
I certainly did.
That's amazing. Astounding.
Thank you.
Part of what the show tonight is about is gifts, and I'm told it's more blessed to give. But on the other hand, this guitar was a gift that was given to me very recently. I had a fire last summer, lost a lot of stuff that should have been lost, but I also lost some old friends, some guitars, and in particular, an old Epiphone that had a fancy piece of inlay on the neck. It was a naked lady with a snake, a biblical theme. And I'd had it forever. I'd had it for about 30 years, and I missed that guitar, but a fellow named Mike Creasy came out of nowhere and said he bought a guitar about the same time I bought the one that ultimately became the Naked Lady, and he gave it to me. And it has all the same notes on it. So I'd like to do you a song on this guitar. It's a nice gift. I'd like to do you an instrumental. It's called Mole's Moan. Give me some glue. Gifts can be kind of two-sided things. I got a boy, Benjamin, he's now about 15, but he was, I think, around 7 when this occurred. At school, they asked him to write a little essay about what he would like for the world for Christmas and what he would like for himself for Christmas. Just 2 sentences, you know, nothing too strenuous. And his answer was that for the world, he would like peace. He would like people to stop fighting and understand each other and get along. And for himself, he wanted the G.I. Joe hovercraft with the flamethrowers and rocket launchers and machine guns. Now, this guy could grow up to be president. And Benjamin and Richard are, Richard being the younger kid, are 2 of the best reasons I have for coming back to New Hampshire for Christmases wherever I am on the road. The other reason is that I usually do a show down in Boston at Symphony Hall right in between Christmas and New Year's and get together with 2,500 of my closest friends and have a party, and we'll be doing that this year. This is a New Hampshire song, and whenever I'm in New Hampshire, I try to sing this one. This I wrote quite a while ago. I grew up in Concord, New Hampshire, back before Concord had become the cultural mecca that, that it is today. And decided to write this song to try to glamorize Concord, New Hampshire as best I could. And, I tried to write an authentic, traditional Appalachian ballad. And, missed the mark, but I still like the song. Way up north, by the icebound ocean, I was born. I was born way up north in the Merrimack County. That's my home. That's my home. When I was younger and in my school, I walked the mountains made of stone. The distant sang about tomorrow. I did wish I was grown and gone. As I grew, indeed I rambled out along the open road. There I learned the rainbow circle is truly said. That's the sign of stone. Now I'm old, my dreams they wander far away. In yesterday, I'm going home to the Merrimack County, find the grass that hides my grave. So let the birds fly down the valley, let the storms roam on the sea. I was born to the rainbow circle, Stony Mountain, that's home to me. Stony Mountain, that's home to me. Stony Mountain, that's home to me.
Super Gifts will return with Lucie, Therrien, Bill Staines, Rick Watson, and much, much more.
You are looking at someone who has spent more holidays away from home than he would care to remember. I remember one Hanukkah that I spent in New York with a dear friend of mine and his family. And they had a little daughter, a 2-year-old. And every night for 8 nights, she would light another candle for the menorah. And although this wasn't strictly good Judaism, he admitted, every night she also received a present, a gift. And I was, I don't know, in my mid-30s, but I remember thinking that I would give anything to change places with that little girl. So much love. But the holiday that I remember most never happened to me. It happened to a friend of mine. It was his first Christmas away from home, and he had an apartment. It was not much of an apartment. It had a couple old chairs and a beat-up couch and a table. I remember it had 3 legs, which you could eat on, but you had to be really careful. And Christmas Day came, and he went to work, and he worked all day very hard at his very first real job. It was at a radio station. And later that day, he came home, and there on his doorstep was a package, a little red package, and it had his name on it. And he picked it up, and he held it for a minute or two, and he told me that at that time, in his mind, this gift was from everyone that he ever knew. And then he opened it up, and inside was a beautiful silver spoon. And there was a note, and the note said, "I hear you have a new life and a new apartment, but I'll bet all of your things are secondhand. Well, here's something that isn't. Something new for a new life. May they both shine." And the note was unsigned. And you know, every holiday season since, he has taken that spoon out and has shined it up and has put a red ribbon around it and has placed it right on his bookcase. And every time he looks at it, he tries to think of who it could have been that sent it to him. But until he knows, it was from everyone.
Merci beaucoup. My idea of the perfect New Year's Day is still always to have a group of friends over to toast the New Year in, and I usually play some French-Canadian fiddling all day long to sort of lift our spirits. So my gift to you tonight is a song that I wrote that reminisces of my scenes and traditions that are part of my heritage, and it's called Collage. Écoutez mes amis, je vais vous raconter cette histoire États-Unis, devenus mon territoire, des coutumes qu'on oublie, qui ont changé malgré l'histoire, mais les racines, la vie, sont demeurées comme notre espoir. Les États-Unis, la Nouvelle-Angleterre, franco-américain, québécois se réfèrent, Turquie et sous Papouas, tous les samedis c'était pour moi, coutumes franco et québécoises, que l'on retrouve quand chez soi. Une petite quadrille, mais pourquoi pas, ça ravigote, ça donne la joie. Comme fin de journée, ça ne se bat pas, source d'esprit et d'énergie. Les États-Unis, la Nouvelle-Angleterre, franco-américain, québécois se réfèrent. Tissage culture de bois, votre chanson sont des mémoires qui me rappellent avec tendresse les eaux chéries de ma jeunesse. Une église de bois, sur la pelouse statue de vierge, paysage et nostalgie, trésor qui dure toute la vie. Thank you very much. This next song is a French-Canadian traditional song. It was written for the soldiers that had been exiled for taking part of the political uprise of 1837 in Upper and Lower Canada. And it's since then been adopted by all French Canadians that are away from home, Acadians and Franco-Americans. It's called an errant Canadian, or a wandering Canadian, un Canadien errant. Vanille de Bill, I think people are ready for a little English music now.
Well, the Christmas season is a time of faith, and this is a song that is about faith and having faith in something that's just a little bit beyond what we can handle ourselves. And it's one called The Faith of Man. And there's a chorus to it, and I'm going to get you all to sing out on the choruses here, so don't be bashful. Just try the harmony parts, sing the harmony parts. Just don't everybody sing harmony. That's a bummer. But Faith of Man. One day a babe was born along the highway, a tiny helpless thing upon the sand, and an Okie with a dream out on the byway took the babe and held it proudly in his hand. And the woman smiled a gentle smile of knowing, whispered something softly in its ear, perhaps a little prayer to help growing, perhaps a word of comfort through the fear. Here's the chorus. And you can trust the moon to move the mighty ocean, and you can trust the sun to shine upon the land. You take the little that you know, and you do the best you can, and you see the rest in the quiet faith of man. How do that? And you can trust the moon to move the mighty ocean, and you can trust the sun to shine upon the land. You take the little that you know, and you do the best you can, and you see the rest in the quiet faith of man. The tractor makes its way along the fence line. The seeds are dropped precisely in the row. And if the rain is kind and the wind don't take the topsoil, before too long the crops will start to show. And the farmer sees the fields around him ripen, whispers something low beneath his breath, perhaps a little prayer to help the growing, perhaps a word of thanks for all the rest. There you go. You can trust the moon to move the mighty ocean, and you can trust the sun to shine upon the land. You take the little that you know, and you do the best you can, and you see the rest in the quiet faith of man. There's a storm-tossed ship tonight out on the water. There's a soul that sails alone out on the blue.
is a dreamer with her eye upon the heavens. They're all looking for a way to make it through. Trust the moon to move the mighty ocean. You can trust the sun to shine upon the land. You take a little that you know, and you do the best you can, and you say the rest with quiet faith of man. You take a little that you know, and you do the best you can, and you say the rest with quiet faith of man. Well, I do a lot of songs about traveling around because I do a lot of traveling around the country, and it's nice to get home at this time of year and be home at this time of year for the holidays. This is a song about where I live, and oddly enough, it's called Where I Live. And it was written, we had been renting this farmhouse for a number of years, and when we got to build our own house, we moved about 200 yards down the road, and so the song, that was good because the song still holds true, you know, and I liked the song, and I didn't want to have to change the title to Where I Don't Live. For some reason, that didn't quite have it, or Where I Used to Live and Somebody Else Lives Now, that didn't have it either. But some images from around home for me. Where I live, there is a river, and it freezes with the cold, all except some open water neath the bridge. And the ducks that gather there, black and red, they fill the air, winging in across the pines along the ridge. And in the early morning sun, the silver mare breaks on the run across the fields and out along the little stream, moving like a winter wind beyond the fence and back again. She loves the time, she's smooth as anything I've seen. And there's a field of winter rye that smells so sweet when it is high and whispers to you so you almost cannot hear, shining like a satin sea beneath the moon when it is spring. It falls beneath the cutter's blade middle year. That stands out back, waiting for the falling axe to split its rings and show the secrets deep inside. Years of drought and little growth, years of good, it's seen them both, but now it's there and waiting only for the fire. And there's a truck that's broken down that I used to take to town till the axle went and I left it there to die. I'll get it fixed, I used to say, but that was back before the day when things got busy and I've never had the time. For where I live, there is a road that's seen me come and seen me go and taken me so far I thought I'd lost my way. Back to where my life is slow, back to everything I know, back again to where that river slips away. Where I live, there is a road that's seen me come and seen me go and taken me so far I thought I'd lost my way. But where I live, there is my heart, it won't be long before I start back again to where that river slips away. And where I live, there is my heart, it won't be long before I start back again to where that river slips away.
you imagine a holiday season without lights? Lights in windows, lights on trees, blinking lights, colored lights, candles, and each one pushing back the darkness just a little bit. In our ancient past, we dreaded the darkness, and the winter solstice, the longest night of the year, filled us with fear, unless it could be filled with the warmth of people singing around a fire. You know, maybe that's the collective memory that makes us smile when we see the lights at holiday time. You know, before trees, before ornaments, before Christmas, before Hanukkah, before all of that, there were simple gifts. People, light, and music.
Oh, where I send thee, how shall I send thee? I'm gonna send you 6 for 6, 6 for the 6 that couldn't get fixed, 5 for the 5 that didn't stay alive, 4 for the gospel preachers, 3 for the Hebrew children, 2 for Paul and Silas, 1 for the little bitty baby was born, born, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. Well, I'm gonna send you 7 for 7, 7 for the 7 that didn't get to heaven, 6 for the 6 that couldn't get fixed, 5 for the 5 that couldn't stay alive, 4 for the gospel preachers, 3 for the Hebrew children, 2 for Paul and Silas, 1 for the little bitty baby who's born, born, born in Bethlehem. Children, oh, where I send thee, how shall I send thee? I'm gonna send thee 8 by 8, 8 for the 8 that stood at the gate, 7 for the 7 that couldn't get to heaven, 6 for the 6 that didn't get fixed, 5 for the 5 that couldn't stay alive, 4 for the gospel preachers, 3 for the Hebrew children, 2 for Paul and Silas, 1 for the little bitty baby was born, born, born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee, how shall I send thee? I'm gonna send you 9 by 9, 9 for the 9 that stood in line, 8 for the 8 that stood at the gate, 7 for the 7 that couldn't get to heaven, 6 for the 6 that couldn't get fixed, 5 for the 5 that couldn't stay alive, 4 for the gospel preachers, 3 for the Hebrew children,